Have you ever filmed a whole video and then couldn't find your clips and your audio and all those stills that you did for the project? You couldn't find them later? Or maybe you've got them all on your computer and you come back to it in a day and say, well, now I'm going to take all that stuff and put it together, make a nice video out of it. And you open up your computer and you first thought, well, where on earth did I put all this stuff? And you immediately go to your download folder and you find out that there's 137 files in your download folder that you have moved somewhere else. Well, in this video, I'll show you a simple way to get ready before you film and exactly how to organize your project after you film so nothing gets lost and editing feels way less stressful. I love less stressful. Now, you don't need to be techie to do this. We're going to look at three simple things. First, a quick pre-filming gear prep thing. Before you film anything, just a real quick check. Two, how to set up a one project folder for all of your video and this and that and everything else. And then three, what to do with your files after filming, including your editing software that you're using. And for this, I'm going to be using Final Cut Pro. Now, I want you to remember that prep, before you do anything, really does matter. It's like you're going to bake some bread and you find out that you're missing one ingredient after you've got everything else kind of all ready and put together. And the next thing you know, you've got to stop everything and run to the grocery store and come back. Well, we're going to try and eliminate that with regard to filming a video so that there's less stress, fewer retakes, and no oopsies along the way. Let's leave it at that. Beginner friendly, real easy. You're going to go and do some video. I recommend four things. First of all, your show notes. Now, if you're like me or you're my age and have this issue, you can't remember everything and the order that they go in order to do the in order to do the notes itself. You need some sort of show notes. And so I've got show notes. Now, this is way elaborate, but if I were to leave my studio, as it were, and go somewhere, this would be on about a half of one side of a sheet of paper. I would condense it down to bullet points. And so I would take my show notes with me, and then I would take my tripod, and my tripod is just real simple. This is the biggest thing I'll take with me, and it's not that big, and it's under 30 bucks. It's easy, it's compact, it's cheap. You can grab one on Amazon. Third thing is a microphone. Since you're doing video and you're doing teaching lessons like what I do, you want a microphone along with your phone or your camera. If you're going to spend any money on anything, because I'm assuming you already have a phone, and it's a fairly decent phone that takes video. Most every phone now takes really decent video, and that's all you need for a camera. And that's the fourth thing. But back to the third thing is a microphone. I use the Hollyland Lark 2. It's maybe a year and a half old. They might have upgraded models, but it's real simple. It's real small. You take it with you, and there's two microphones, and I only need one, and then the receiver that you plug into the phone. It makes for great audio, especially if you go outside and there's a little bit of wind, a little bit of background noise. This will really pick up your audio and use it real well. So there's four things: the show notes, the tripod, your microphone, and of course, your phone that you put on the tripod. And by the way, you'd have to have something on the end to hook the phone. You knew that. Let's move on. When you leave, now, bit of a story. I saw this from a friend, and it just stuck in my head. I can't leave the house without doing this. And my wife encourages me to do this. It goes along to the tune. It goes along to a tune, and that's how you remember it. And so when I leave, I have to have at least four things with me. And I have to say this. And by the way, I didn't say this once about a week ago, and I went to the grocery store, which is only a mile away. But I went to the grocery store, put 7 items in a basket, got to checkout. When I got to the checkout, I didn't have my wallet. And so I asked the checkout person to say, hey, would you watch my stuff while I go out, drive home, get my wallet, come back so I can check it out and pay for it? And she said yes. And I'm going, it's just an extra. Now, I only live a mile away. No big deal. But it goes along this way, and so this is the tune. And this may be the only time you'll ever hear me come close to singing on any video. Wallet, glasses, keys and phone, keys and phone, keys and phone. Yeah. When I leave to do something outside or away, or I go off in my Jeep to do something and I'm going to do a video, I go show notes, tripod, mic, and phone, so yeah, same thing. Show notes, tripod, mic, and phone. That'll be in your head the next time you leave. You want to know those 4 things. Or if you just leave to go to the grocery store, you're going to go wallet, glasses, keys, and phone. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. If you don't have all of those things and all you have is a phone and some good lighting, like a window, or you're going outside, if all you have is a phone, you're still good to go. It's all right. Okay, so once you've filmed this amazing video, what happens to all those clips? Let's make sure that they have a proper home. So you want to create your main project folder on your computer. Now, we're going to give every video its own home on your computer. We're going to switch to a screen, and I'm going to show you a folder that's going on here. And this is my external drive. I keep all of my video files on an external drive because you start doing this all and leaving it on your main computer drive, that's going to have a lot of computer going on, a lot of space on your computer, because videos take up a lot of space, and the project files themselves take up a lot more space. Have an external drive, my recommendation, and all of my video files are under Easy Online Impact, and I'll go in there. And what I'm doing right now is this one, disorganized. And I want you to notice how I set up this title or name for this file folder. And it is a 2026-01-20, today's date, and the name. That's the first folder you want to make. Now, inside this folder, I have, and I recommend you make 5 other folders. Now, make it any way you wish. That's fine. Make as many folders as you want in here. These are 5 that I recommend, and you notice how I do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're just in order, so you can find them quicker. And you can use this for every single project that you're doing. And I recommend it that you do it. So inside the folder, you've got these 5 folders, the footage, which is, I haven't got the footage in there because I'm doing it right now, but it's all your camera and your clips and maybe your B-roll, everything like that. The second one is audio. If you're creating separate audio clips, or if you're putting background music in there, take that file, put it in there. Third is graphics. Now, under graphics, you might have some stills that you want to put into your video. I don't know. At least under there, you put your thumbnail and other things. Maybe you have a lower third that you want to have pop up, or maybe you have a logo that you want to use, but you put them all under graphics. Fourth one is project files. Now, most, if not all, probably all different types of editing software, they create files that is specific to them. Like Final Cut Pro makes files that are specific to them. And Filmora makes files that are specific to them, and they live somewhere on your computer. Well, make sure they don't live on your computer, because they're large files too. Not just your final project file, but these process files that are used live on your computer as well, and they can take up a lot of space. And it'll clog up your computer, slow things down, and oh my goodness, it's a bit of a pain. So make sure that they go under project files. So when you're creating something brand new, you have an option whenever you create a new project in editing software to say, where are these files going to live? And you're going to say, well, they live over here on an external drive under project files. And that's where I keep those. And then the 5th one is exports. When I finish my video, it's going to stay right there, and it's going to live as a saved project, a saved final project in that folder right there. I would also make some, maybe I'm doing a 10-minute video, and I'm going to make some shorts out of it. Some shorts or some reels or some TikToks or whatever you want to use, but I'm going to make some. Those files can fit in there as well. There's a quick organizing system for your files, so the next time you sit down at your computer, you actually have them sitting right there. Now, you don't have to use these exact names. Just keep it simple, but repeat the same structure every time. The same idea works on a Mac or a PC because it's just folders. Now, what you actually do with all of those clips after you film, what do you do with them? Well, let's walk through that step by step. After filming, you move all of your files and your setup into your video editing software. You move your footage from your camera to your computer, however you do that, whether you plug it in or you drag files, but you drag all of the raw footage into that footage file, that O1 footage file folder. And if you have audio, you drag it all into audio, including background music if you have it. One thing I suggest you do is that you've named your main folder. Let's say it's 2026-01-19, getting ready for your project. And that's the file folder name. So for me, it's 2026-01-20 disorganized. But when you get ready to save your project in your editing software, like Final Cut Pro or Filmora or whatever you're using, and you say, well, you got to name your project. Name it the exact same thing. Name it the exact same thing as your main file folder. It's okay. They've got a different it's got a different file type to it. Now, when you go into your editing software, you have to and you get all your stuff ready and you're starting to make your project. At some point, you're going to want to save. You're going to want to save the project before you keep moving on, because you don't want to lose what you've already done and you want to keep going ahead, but you want to save it at certain points. Some editing software automatically saves. That's great, but it still needs a name. So name your editing project the exact same name as the file folder that everything goes into, like 2026-01-20 disorganized, the name of this video. That way they'll kind of be linked by the fact that, oh yeah, okay, this goes into that folder because it's the same name. So do it that way. Import your video, import all your raw stuff, import your audio stuff. We're just telling your editing software where all this stuff is, and then save and close. Now, every time you go back and you get ready to work on this project, it's going to be in that folder. Anytime you open this library later, and that's what Final Cut Pro calls a project. They say, put all your stuff in a library. This, that, everything else. They call it a library, which is fine. So when you create a library, you know where everything is in one place. And the editing software knows exactly where to look on your drives in order to get it there. When you repeat this every time, editing stops feeling like a scavenger hunt and starts feeling like actual file management. Crazy, right? Actual organized management. If you do it every time, you just get in the habit of doing it. That's kind of a cool thing to do. You know, when you go to sleep at night, you know where all your stuff is. So you've got a simple gear check. Wallet, glasses, keys. No, never mind. You got a simple gear check. You've got a main folder for your video, and you've moved all of your stuff into that video, and you know that when you're in your editing software, it's all going to go into that one spot. If you can drag a file into a folder, you can organize a YouTube project. You don't need to be a teenager. You don't need to be a tech expert, and it's okay. So if I've missed something, I would love for you to tell me, hey, I do this, and make it another great idea. And I would love to hear your ideas on how you would add to this. If there's something that you do that helps you keep things organized. And by the way, my name's Bill, and thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that very much. I want you to make yourself a home on YouTube.